means they're going to just say they're conservative, but really they're just going to back every single thing that all the liberals and communists on the shows are going to say. Or they're going to give you the caricature of what a Republican sounds like to Democrats.
Correct.
Very stupid, probably with a hillbilly accent. You know what I mean? And they're going to give you the losing argument so that the Democrat or the progressive can win. And Crossfire was a perfect example of that. Tucker Carlson was the foil. He played the guy that was supposed to lose every argument. And in fairness, the Hannity and Combs, before it was Sean Hannity, it was Hannity and Combs. And Combs was the Democrat. And Hannity was, and they were supposed to argue against each other. Combs was the foil. He always gave the losing argument.
But turned out to be he just wasn't no good.
He was stupid.
Yeah, and he even had his own radio show at one time, which I don't know if he still does or not, but that was awful too.
He has a radio show, and we are on Smith Radio, and you can catch us every single week, Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can call us in. What is that number, Brian?
513-888-1538.
So get your pencil out and repeat that again.
513-888-1538.
Please follow us on Twitter at Smith Radio, and also do not forget that Smith is spelled S-M-Y-T-H.
Right, and this hour brought to you by, we're talking about Donald Trump, however, this hour brought to you by a new sponsor.
So who is all for women until she isn't? Hillary Clinton. When Bill Cosby was accused of sexual assault, Mrs. Clinton tweeted, "Every survivor of sexual assault deserves to be believed."
That's right.
But when another Bill was accused of sexual assault, not so much. She called those women Looney Tune and stage managed their destruction from a White House war room. She
bimbos.
savaged their dignity and shamed them.
Some folks are going to have a lot to answer for.
Rebuilding America Now PAC is responsible for the content of this message.
Well, thank you for Rebuild America.
The hypocrisy of Clinton. Oh, did you see her new ad? Well, we're in Ohio, so we're going to get the battleground barrage of ads. And since Trump has yet to tap into a war chest of any kind, he has no ads out.
Yeah, the ads are flowing for Clinton right now.
Right. And she has an ad where even my wife was like, "Did you see that ad?" And I said, "Yeah, I saw it." She's like, "It's really good."
What?
Okay.
Well,
if you don't know anything and you're just watching this ad out of the blue, it's a very good ad. It's actually effective.
Well, I mean, Hollywood can make anything.
Yeah, I mean, you've seen the movie Wag the Dog?
Right. It's an incredible movie.
War.
Well, and ironically, that movie came out at the same time that Bill Clinton was staging a war to hide his philandering.
And it was a total coincidence. It was a... Can you imagine that? You're making a movie that's just totally outlandish about politics, and then right as you're releasing it to the public,
you're like,
to the theaters.
I'm saying, you call Bill Clinton, you're like, "Oh man, I'm so sorry, man. We'll take it to the tank. We'll dump it."
That's probably what they did, isn't it? I think it was.
It will not go straight to VHS. It will not go to
Laserdisc.
Yikes! Wow. So we were talking about the sit-in, the fake, the crybaby.
So sad. So these civil rights leaders think that they're on the new frontier of the civil rights movement of taking away your rights.
Right, and is his name Cummins?
Yeah.
Cummins?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
He is a loudmouth, racist Democrat who happens to have black skin or dark skin. But he is absolutely racist and filled with so much hate. And he was part of the sit-in to demand more control over your guns.
Well, I tweeted something out earlier that I hope everybody it's so simple. And everybody needs to understand this concept. Gun control is control.
Correct.
And so when somebody wants gun control, they want control over you and your behavior and your decisions. And is that what you want?
Well, obviously not. So what they did is they took part in a failed sit-in, if you will, for gun control. They wanted a vote. They wanted Speaker Ryan to hold a vote on voting for more gun control. And they weren't going to, he wasn't going to do it, and the other lawmakers weren't going to do it. And so these knuckleheads, like babies, said, we're not going to filibuster because that takes too much energy. That takes way too much energy and time.
So what's the difference between a sit-in and a...
When if somebody is up there standing and talking and doing what they refer to as a filibuster, you must talk nonstop, and you must be up there. If you leave the podium and you stop talking, it's over with.
It's officially over.
Correct. Somebody else can call for closure. And once that's done, then it's all you're lost. But if you stand up there and you keep talking, it could be about anything. Ted Cruz went up there and read green eggs and ham.
Right.
And so this sit-in was pathetic. Breitbart referred to it as the old hippie era attempting to do a hippie move.
I can't wait till the hippies are done.
So they sat on the floor. They sat on the floor of the House. They just sat on the floor, and Paul Ryan called for everybody to go home, and they did.
So didn't they turn the lights off, and they turned the cameras off? They turned the microphones off.
Right.
So they went to Periscope, which, by the way, if I'm the owner of Periscope, this is enormous.
Yes.
Free worldwide advertising. Could you imagine starting a company where the number one, before the Brexit thing happened, it was all about the sit-in.
Right.
The anti-human rights sit-in.
Right.
And here you are, you're the owner of Periscope, let's say, and it becomes big news that they get to go to your company. They're tapping your product, if you will, in order to make happen what they wanted to make happen, which was to broadcast to you in real time what's happening on the House floor. So they periscoped it because they turned off the cameras and they turned off the microphones.
We're going to get somebody to look at us. Somebody's going to pay attention to us. So after it was all done and they had to leave, let's see, from afar say that the action was just the tip of the iceberg.
Do you think why did they stop? Why did they get up and leave? Was it because of the Brexit vote?
Probably.
Brexit happens and they're like, oh crap, nobody's going to listen to us anymore.
Not even close.
We need to get out of here.
So, and we're getting to Brexit. Don't you worry.
By the
folks.
way, the whole time they were in there laying on the floor like it was I'm stealing this joke from somebody, but it was like the commercial from the Lifeline thing where they say, I've fallen and I can't get up.
Right. I've fallen and I can't get up.
Right. So they're all laying all over the floor like that, and they're acting like, they're suffering. Which, by the way, an entire auditorium-style area of empty seats. They could have sat anywhere.
Right. They
the
could have
whole
sat
thing was a total... It was all about the imagery of laying on the ground or whatever they were doing.
Because that's what they did back in the hippie days. So they claim that this is the tip of the iceberg and that guerrilla tactics for gun control will be forthcoming.
Are we allowed to use the word guerrilla?
Well, that's what Senator Cummings said. So if he uses guerrilla, and he's going to act
what does that
out
even mean,
in guerrilla tactics.
I mean, is it a reference to guerrilla warfare? Because if it is, what the hell is he talking about?
It's absolutely in reference to guerrilla warfare.
So what's he going to do? Hide behind trees and jump out and say, here's a bill?
Yeah.
What is that? What is he talking about?
Well, you know how the Democrats are. They don't make any darn sense about it's mindless.
It is mindless because check this out. Any bill that is introduced at all that has any type of if it bars or reduces your ability to have the right to bear arms, it's against the Second Amendment, which is the law of the land. Correct. So why are they circumventing what they really want to do and trying to bypass and go around what they really want to do, which is repeal the Second Amendment?
Correct. And And even if they don't get the Second Amendment repealed, they will do everything in their power to limit you into obtaining any kind of firearm of any. It's assault weapons listed under assault. I mean, the state of California at one point in time, to go house by house and take people's rifles away. The state of California attempted that at one time.
That
was blocked by a judge. Said you can't do that.
Yeah, of course.
Right. Well, but it's sad that a judge has to block that.
Our legislators,
keep coming.
They need to read and understand and believe in and the Constitution. I thought that when you become a senator or a representative in the House of Representatives, congressman, if you will, that you have to swear an oath to uphold and defend the Constitution. It sounds to me like they're in breach of this oath, and they should be impeached.
Oh, without a doubt.
Which I don't know if you can impeach because they get elected every 2 years or every 6 years. You would think that the people that elect them, their constituents, would say, well, you're obviously not in line with the Constitution, the law of the land, so we need to vote somebody else in there. Why would you reelect somebody who is illegal? And they are illegal. Right. When you act outside the law, you are acting illegally. And when you're trying to introduce gun control measures that are clearly against the Second Amendment, you're acting illegally.
Oh, no, without a doubt. So did you hear about what happened in Chicago?
More dead people?
Over Father's Day weekend? I mean, nobody's talking about it.
It must be more dead people.
Yeah. Sad tragedy due to gun control at its finest. Chicago has an assault weapons ban, a violent tax, and stringent limits on numbers of gun stores allowed, as well as limits on the locations of those stores. But these controls and others have correlated with an empowerment criminal element. So apparently, over Father's Day weekend, there were 50 to 52 people shot by guns. And out of the 52, I think there was like between 12 and 14 had died. So would that not be in line? Mass shootings? I mean, it's not by one single person, but why aren't they talking about these mass shootings in Chicago?
It's weird because you think it would fit they would fit it into their narrative.
When was the last time you heard about somebody being shot in Cincinnati? It happens. It happens.
I hear about it. I listen to the local news in the morning, and you usually hear about it. If you're in Cincinnati, you're listening to Cincinnati local radio, you'll hear it.
Right.
If you listen to the local news on TV, you'll probably hear about it. But you're not going to hear about shootings in Cincinnati when you're in Indianapolis.
No.
But you certainly should hear about Chicago shootings when it's on such a massive scale.
Well, yeah, and I mean, they're screaming and clamoring for some kind of gun control. Get control of these guns. Yet the city with the worst the mass shootings every weekend seems to be off the radar, and that's because Chicago has the strictest gun laws in all of America. And just real quick, I've said this once before, but just to recap, when you want to get your CCW, your concealed carried weapons permit, they call it CCW. If you want to get that so you carry a gun, there are states that will accept that license. And if you look at a map that the NRA publishes, it'll show you the different states, color coordinated, that will accept your license if you're from this state. So there's blue, and there's white, and there's red, and red is bad. White is neutral, and the different color coordinates. There is, out of all 57 states, I mean,
57 states.
Out of 50 states, that was Obama. 57
I
states.
gotcha.
Out of all 50 states, there is only one state, that is black. The whole state is blacked out because you cannot come through that state with any kind of weapon whatsoever. I had a buddy I worked with, his son was traveling to Michigan, and he was moving up there to live. And he has a lot of, his handful of handguns and some rifles, things like that. He had to go and drive